Hello friend, I hope this finds you well. My name's Chris THRALL. I'm a former Royal Marines Commando and I fought my way back from chronic trauma and addiction to live, work and travel in 80 countries across all 7 continents, achieving all of my dreams and goals along the way. Now I pass my simple system on to other people, but I can only help you if you like and subscribe. So please do so, because you get one life, and if you live it right, one is enough. And can you tell us about do they call it the Hey-Ho and Halo course, the skydiving bit?
Yeah, and traditionally, Halo and Hey-Ho would only be reserved for the guys that went to air troop. Those would be the ones that did it, unless you'd done it before, you'd come in from Pathfinders or something. But traditionally, it would only be air troop that did Halo and Hey-Ho. We were a bit of our squadron was a bit different. We had one particular task where it required everybody to be Halo and Hey-Ho trained. So I was fortunate enough to go and do the Halo and Hey-Ho course. And then later on I went and did my own skydiving out at Perris Valley in California, which was great fun. But yeah, normally I wouldn't get to do Halo and Hey-Ho, but I was really glad I did, because it's another really fun part of doing that stuff, you know, jumping out at sort of 30,000 feet in oxygen and being up in the air for sort of 25, 30 minutes and just sort of navigating your way through the skies.
Is it that long?
Yeah,
30 minutes?
You can stay in there for a long time. You catch thermals, and a lot of the time they'll use it as a skill to go across borders and stuff, you know, because you're up in the air for such a long time. But of course that's the opposite to Halo, where you know you're hopping and you're going to pop when you get low. But we managed to do both of them, and I was really glad I did, because it was something I wouldn't normally have got a chance to experience, you know.
I mean, I'm quite fascinated there, because I've done the skydiving course and there's a lot of things to be thinking about there, but overall it's just absolutely brilliant fun. Just great, especially when I said to the instructor, or my previous instructor, can I just do a somersault out the plane? And he went, Chris, you're trained now, you do what the fuck you like. And that was it then. So I was just tumbling out the plane every single time. We actually had one guy would do the Hey-Ho, so the high altitude, high opening, and he'd have a bottle of tequila on his webbing sort of belt here on his strap with a straw, and he used to jump out and we would sometimes go up to about 15,000 feet, which technically should have had oxygen or air, oxygen, one of the two. And he would jump out, pop his chute, and just then literally float all the way down to the ground drinking his tequila, which is a big no-no in skydiving circles, but this is just what this guy did. All the other guys were stoned, so it wasn't you know, too much out of the pattern.
I think you see the difference between sort of British parachuting and American skydiving, and they're sort of polar opposites. And so, you know, we'd wait for the weather. We'd be lucky to get jumping on a day when we're at sort of Netheravon or wherever we're doing the parachuting. And then you go to Perris Valley, you do your sort of initial, whatever it was, 12 jumps, and then that was you. You were free to like pack your own chute, get yourself on the plane and just chuck yourself out whenever. And it was just such a freedom and a responsibility that comes with it, but it was one that you weren't used to, particularly being a soldier when you're told of everything that you need to do, and you know, yeah, it was mad.
Yeah, I did both my private pilot's license and skydiving license in Florida. Yeah. And the benefit of that was the weather windows were just, they almost guaranteed it was, sunny weather all through the day, and then they'd always have the storm in the evening, or the time of year I went there they did.
Yeah.
Whereas had I done those courses in the UK, I mean, and I got both of them done in 5 weeks. Whereas if I'd done it in the UK, we'd probably be talking 1 or 2 years because of the weather, and also the strictness of the criteria in Britain. Colin, you've gone a bit dark there, mate. I don't know if that's
just Scotland, but let me turn the. Is that? In fact, I'll turn that one off behind me because that'll be annoying, Matt. Is that any better?
It might be okay. I wouldn't worry too much. Try it.
Is that any better?
Yeah. I can tell all my mates that I've been ordering a SAS guy around today.
Quite right. My missus does all the time, so get it while it's hot.
So what I wanted to ask then is, I've done I've jumped out in just the clothes that I'm wearing. What's it like with all that equipment and breathing apparatus and weapons and survival gear, plus you're in the air for half an hour? To me, that just reeks that something is going to go badly wrong.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to think about. I think especially when you're up around, as soon as the plane goes above 12,000, you have to get onto your oxygen. And so everybody's oxygened up, and they'll go around checking to make sure no one's oxygen's cut off, because if it is, you'll go unconscious, and there's a guy that goes around just checking, make sure everyone's okay and there's no leaks. And then once you go out around 30,000, it's really cold. And so you've got your puffer jacket, you've got all your layers, you've got your gloves, and you've got something on under your helmet and everything, because it's really cold up there at 30,000 feet. And then I think once you get down to, I think it's around 12,000, you come off the oxygen, but you're also stripping off layers and unzipping because you're hot now as you come down. But sometimes, I mean, you can get down quite quick, but sometimes if you catch thermals when you're up there, it can stay up for quite a bit. And of course, you've got your little tray in front of you that's got your sort of GPS, your map and your compass, and so you're navigating where you're going. And then as you come out the clouds, because normally the clouds will sit at whatever level, and as you go through the clouds, and I always wondered what clouds felt like, and they're sort of, I always thought, but they're quite sort of cold, slightly moist as you touch them, as you come through the clouds. And then as you come through the clouds, you see everybody else, and you're all sort of gathering in a line coming down and towards the target. So no, it was great fun, absolutely great fun. I loved the skydiving. What happened if you got split up from your team? Yeah, sometimes that could happen, and maybe your instruments are off or whatever, and I guess once you landed, you'd have to get on the radio and say, look, this is where I am, I'm maybe off target or whatever. It very rarely happened. It's bizarrely how accurate it ends up, and that'll be a lot to do with people doing the maths in terms of dropping people out, going at a speed so that most people are stacked up, that they're not going to be too far away. But there has been times, I recall one time when we were due to get dropped off, and we were dropped off out at sea, but we would drift over the sea and land on land, and the winds turned and did a 180, and we all landed in the sea, and so we all had to get picked up by ribs. So we're literally all floating around in the sea in different areas waiting to get picked up. So yeah, things can happen, and anything that deals with nature, you're open to the environments. Do you have a life jacket if you're near the water? Yeah, you've got all that stuff. So anytime they're going to fly over water, you have to have a life jacket and stuff on. And a lot of the exercises we did, we would get dropped into water anyway and have to make our way to it might be a rib or something, and then inflate that, and then, head inland, and then climb up a rope, and then go on a sort of target. So it was kind of planes, trains and automobile stuff, but it was all training and stuff. But yeah, sort of all sorts can happen,